Well, news that a lot of Bulls fans were hoping to hear, especially with Derrick Rose weekend, the Chicago Bulls announced that they will officially retire the jersey of Derrick Rose. We're going to talk about it all and more, but you know what we got to do first? We got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, we got the official news that so many Bulls fans have been waiting to hear. The Bulls, despite announcing a little while ago that they would not be retiring any more numbers, have officially now announced that they will be retiring the number of Derrick Rose. This is amazing. Derrick Rose's jersey will be hanging in the rafters right along with Michael Jordan, right along with Scottie Pippen. This is amazing. This is amazing. Michael Reinsdorf himself delivered this message to Derrick Rose as 20 players were there for brunch today. And so it's good to see a franchise treat one of their sons. That's what Derrick Rose is, in the way that he deserves to be treated. The fact that this was announced amongst a lot of other players, a lot of other greats in Chicago Bulls history, that's what Derrick Rose deserves. It's the Derrick Rose's career in the way that many of us hoped that it would, with getting a title here in Chicago and things like that? No. But Derrick Rose is going to be joining Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Bob Love, Jerry Sloan as the only players in franchise history to have their jersey retired. And that is, you gotta love it, man. And this means that we're gonna have another Derrick Rose night next season, because they will not retire his jersey until next season. Tonight is still going to be the retirement special for Derrick Rose, but then we're gonna have the jersey retirement officially next year at some point as well, man. Hey, listen, this is just great. And it's just good that a franchise that, you know, they created the whole Ring of Honor because they weren't retiring jerseys anymore. And to see that this franchise look at that and say, listen, I know this is what we said, but Derrick Rose deserves something different. Derrick Rose deserves to be honored in a different way. It just feels good. I love this, man. I'm glad to see this happening. And I hope that we just, you know, Derrick Rose deserves every bit of it, man. And yes, it's nostalgia. I get it. And all things like that. You even have some people in Bulls fandom that thought that Derrick Rose did not have deserve to have his jersey retired. I never got with that, man, and I'm just happy to see Derrick Rose get the acknowledgement that he just so deserves, man, in getting this jersey retired, man. So, you know, it is what it is when it comes down to it, man. Omar in the building says it's happening. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's fucking go. Let's get it, man. Haize for president. I don't know about Haize for president, but listen, I'm trying to do some things. Hold on, let me text Stevo.
If Donald Trump can be president, you can be president, bro.
What's going on, Kev? You looking like you're on the 1960s webcam, my boy.
Hey, if Trump can be president, you can be president.
No, I'm good on that. I don't want the responsibility, because I still want to open hand smack motherfuckers as president, and that's just not going to work.
Hey, people will accept it.
How you feeling about the news, Kev, man? Derrick Rose getting his jersey retired, man.
That's happening tonight, right?
No, so the jersey retirement is officially going to happen next year. So tonight is still its own celebration, but they'll do another thing to have his jersey retired next year as well.
Oh, we called it then. We said that they was going to milk this Rose thing as many times as they could. Eventually, he'll probably even get a statue, even though he said the way the statue is looking, he don't want one. But at the end of the day, it's well deserved. I said it yesterday over on Chi-Town Sports that he's the most high-profile player since Mike to ever put on a Bulls jersey. And there's no shade to anybody else. We got respect for like Kirk Heinrich and Luol Deng and Joakim Noah and even Zach LaVine. But at the end of the day, Derrick Rose is prolific, the youngest MVP in the history of the NBA, which is big. And, you know, it's going to be a record that's going to be tough to be broken especially the way the game is played right now. He kind of played at the end. He's kind of like the last of a dying breed in the NBA where they weren't chucking up 40, 53s a game, so on and so forth. So I'm happy for the young kid, man, and there'll be no Derrick Rose slander. I'm not trying to hear none of it. Speaking of open hand slaps.
Yeah, I mean, hey, no Derrick Rose slander. I mean, for what it's worth, yeah, I mean, was it a perfect career? No, but none is. Like, and unfortunately with Derrick Rose, how his career ended and stuff, we all know the injuries, but at this point, it's not about that. It's about what he meant to the city. It's about what he meant to this team. It's about the renewed faith that we had in this franchise while he was here. Derrick Rose deserves everything that's coming to him, man, positively.
and
Every
and,
single
and
thing.
it's present tense. What he means to the city and what he means to the team. Because I mean, it's just the reality of it. Derek, if you saw the line to that pop up Rose store that he did the other day, it was literally longer than the movie Roots. Like there was no, people were standing out there for hours in 20-degree weather. So you know how this city feels about Derrick Rose, and then seeing him at Simeon last night and the reception that he got there with Pooh out there doing his thing as well, hitting threes, and it was just it's been fun to see this kind of Derrick Rose parade that's been going on for the last week or two, including going to the Blackhawks game and so on and so forth. And I'm happy for the kid because he still carved out like a 15-year career even after all the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, and he still had a 40-point, 50-point game after the injuries with Minnesota. Like Derrick Rose is somebody that when you hear some of the modern point guards, Jalen Brunson, John Morant, like they talk about Derrick Rose with so much reverence because of what he meant to basketball at the time that they were coming up. And I think that that's sometimes easy to lose because like Derrick Rose, his star shone very brightly, but it wasn't really for a long time in the grand scheme of things. Like we're talking about 6 years, really. And the impact that he was able to have in that time period when he was at the height of his powers, it's like, and to keep it real, Derrick Rose never got to have a prime. His prime was taken away from him because of injury.
Yeah, he didn't have a
So
prime. If you look at Russell Westbrook and how he's still able to play effective basketball today, he came in around the same time as Derrick Rose, and it was between him and the Russell Westbrook and D Rose is the most athletic guards at the time. And just seeing him have a kind of another resurgence with the Denver Nuggets, it just makes you wonder what things would look like if Derrick Rose had been able to avoid injury or have been able to have the type of recoveries that Russell Westbrook had or Chris Paul had, and so on and so forth. But these guys have each suffered injuries, but they've been able to recreate their games to the point where they can still play basketball. So, but the what ifs are all over. My man is, from the streets, multimillionaire, generational wealth, and he's going to make some good moves after his basketball. Now that his basketball career is over, I'm expecting to see D Rose doing all types of great things, man. I'm definitely happy for the kid. Me and my guys went to go see him play in high school. And, we definitely paid attention to everything he did at Memphis. We were excited to see him make the All-Star team, get a gold medal, so on and so forth. And that's why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but Hall of Fame is about the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the
it's
NBA.
not just the NBA Hall of Fame. And
So
people
all of
and
it,
people forget that. Yeah, it's about everything. And you look at what he's able to do, like you said, almost getting to the national championship. He played in a national championship game. He won a gold medal. He accomplished so much in the game of
three state
basketball.
championships, three straight
Yeah.
state championships.
So yeah, I mean, in high school. So what he's been able to do in the totality of basketball as a whole, he deserves. Like you said, no Derrick Rose slander. We're not gonna play that. Like we already weren't gonna play that, but we definitely not gonna play that on a night like tonight. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I've been looking forward to this. I took off work today to hang out and watch this. This is big for the city. It's big for the kid. So big that I've been looking forward to this like it's Christmas all over again. Once they announced it during the season, openings and so on and so forth. And frankly, if I had a little bit more bread, I'd be at the game. But the tickets was expensive on day one.
You just bought a house too, so I mean,
Right?
you got
Yeah, I swear, I know, man.
you got other things you accomplish in there, my brother. We can't knock you for that. But yeah, man, this is just great to see. It's special, bro. And yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Derrick gets the acknowledgement that he deserves, bro. Derrick Rose deserves all the bit of the acknowledgement that he's getting tonight, man.
Absolutely, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
What's your favorite Derrick Rose memory while we're here waiting on Stevo to come in?
Man, there's too many of them. The dunk on Gordon Dragic is something that was just like that was crazy. The oop from Corey Brewer when he just jumped super high.
Yeah,
That one was crazy. The man, he had so many highlights versus the Miami Heat and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I guess my favorite thing about Derrick Rose is that he always rose to the occasion.
that's a
It
great
it
point.
didn't matter if he was 18, 19, if he was 22, 23, even before he left the team and Tom Thibodeau left the team. When they took Cleveland, they were up 2-0 on Cleveland or 2-1 on Cleveland when he hit that three, that emotionless three that he hit. Like I told you niggas. And then if Jimmy
Everything he
Butler
did was emotionalist. Like my boy was just an assassin out on the court. But go ahead.
But if Jimmy Butler plays better defense on LeBron James, when LeBron James hit that corner three the next game, the
Yeah.
Bulls go up 3-1, and we're talking about not just a different trajectory for D Rose. We're talking about one for Tom Thibodeau, who was fired after that season. We're talking about Jimmy Butler, who might re-sign with the team. Like if you beat Cleveland in that series, you're talking about players maybe coming here as free agents. Like, okay, the Bulls are coming back. They're starting to look better. But because they lost that series, the entire trajectory of the team changed. And that's what was unfortunate because D Rose could have been a Bull for life, and we'd be talking about something different today.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't know if that series changes as much for long term as you have faith that it does, because I think at that point, like we kind of knew that they were kind of over. Like it seems like the front office was just waiting for a reason to break up that team. Unfortunately, but it just listen, that moment of Derrick Rose hitting that shot in that playoff series. And yeah, unfortunately, the next game, LeBron turned around and hit a shot. But like it was so much emotion in that because we had seen everything that Derrick Rose had went through up until that point, right? Like as far as like all the doubt around him, people doubted if he was ever going to be himself again and things like that. And it eventually started coming around again that people understood that Derrick Rose was still a force in this league to a degree, but he never really got to reclaim that all the way. What's going on, Steve? How you feeling about the news, brother?
I'm trying to get back into the spirit because fucking Restream just took all the joy I just had. But
I don't
I'm
understand
happy.
why it takes it so long to refresh for you. That sucks,
Literally, once you go live, it's like fuck you. You ain't getting in. Literally every time. But I think this was the only thing I was looking forward to. I'm like, I get it. The whole sentiment of having the Ring of Honor, like we wasn't gonna do this ever again.
Yeah.
But I was just like, if it's any bull, I love all the pads. I love Scotty. I love everything. But we talk about what he meant for the city and actually what he did at a 6'2" point guard. He's the closest we got back to the glory days that we ever seen. Me personally, he my MJ because I didn't see MJ. He the one that made me run home and watch games. I know WGN was my stay. It stayed on Channel 9, especially on Friday nights because I knew Derrick was playing that night. He is probably the sole factor why I started learning the game of basketball. Because up until that point, before that, I was just watching because people watch basketball. He made me pay attention. He made me a basketball junkie, if that makes any sense. So if there is anybody that deserved to be up in them Raptors, and it's the final one, is Derrick. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I'm tired of all these people. Oh, when he said his little statement, he said yesterday, "Oh, I don't want a statue, bro. You don't deserve a statue." It's like you're not even a Bulls fan. Fuck up.
They don't deserve nothing, anything. They've done nothing. Like unless they police officers or school teachers or crossing guards, even like you don't deserve no recognition yourself. What are you
But
talking about here?
and I also think people who either say that Derrick Rose doesn't deserve that or whatever don't understand how much Derrick Rose meant to the city of Chicago and really how much he accomplished in basketball. People just have this thing of looking at it as just the NBA, and I understand that. But Derrick Rose is one of the most decorated basketball players, period, of this age.
And he can't walk around nowhere in China.
That's true.
This I always break it down to these simple terms because this is what people don't understand what he did. The last person to make it at the stature of a 6'2" to 6'3" guard, the last point guard to be the leading scorer, leading thing and everything, the leader of that team, and that either got close to a finals or won a finals was Isaiah Thomas, the original one. No other point guard since Derrick has gotten close. That was the leader of the team. That was the leading in points, leading in assists, and all the leading in all those factors. in terms of that, he put fear in people's hearts. We actually seen LeBron like, all right, bro, what we gotta do to slap this dude down? He threw the whole kitchen sink at him, and we still almost got through. So at the end of the day, like, you just had to be in the city to understand what he did, because there was no hope after Jordan. There was no hope, and there ain't been no hope since.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it's like I can understand people if they just were to admit, like, hey, I wasn't around. I wasn't paying as much attention then. Maybe I just don't understand the impact that this guy had. All right, cool. Like, errors aren't something that everybody understands, but like people who try to talk on Derrick Rose, and you can tell they don't really understand the impact of Derrick Rose. I speak for everybody when I say this respectfully. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And I see a lot of people saying, like, why not tonight? Look here. Jerry didn't have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just take it.
Well, and you get to celebrate him twice. Like, this is to acknowledge his retirement. That's what this always was meant for. And next year we get to celebrate him his jersey going into the Raptors. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to tell y'all this. Derrick Rose deserves to get 2 nights on 2 separate years. How about let's look at it this way? One is to acknowledge exactly like he what he meant for the city and for the team. He deserves to have 2 nights that go to him. Period. I'm not mad at that at all. We're gonna do this all again next year, and I'm gonna be just as excited to talk about it again.
And Jerry Reinsdorf want to charge premium prices for the game again.
Yeah,
like they don't get to do that as often as they did back in the day. So you gonna see $400, $500, $600 tickets. That's not gonna happen too often for the Chicago Bulls.
I ain't gonna lie. Reba have to make we gotta do that. I gotta make a mission. I might not just lock down. I might not do nothing this year. I gotta be there because I ain't get to see him play as a Bull. So
you didn't get to see him play
as a Bull. I ain't seen him play as a Bull.
Really?
No.
Did you see him play in high school, college?
Yeah, I saw high school.
Okay. Yeah.
High school. I feel like I've always. I guess his story. Like, I always told people, like, I've turned down multiple Bulls actual games for high school games. If you're from Chicago, I don't know how to. That's the best way I can tell you. The high school games in Chicago just hit different. And
high school games in Chicago are literally at times like going to a big time college game.
Yep.
Like, that's the atmosphere. It was much smaller, but it's the same type of feel.
Can't move. It's high intensity. A fight can break out at any moment, like anything. But it's high pressure moments. But it's dope. It's always a good game. It's always close. And I love it. But yeah, he deserved 2 days. Hell, he deserved a week.
Exactly. I'm not mad at it at all. Like, if people are mad at this, unfortunately, and I know I've been trying to clean up my act and not be as mean to people, but I mean this with every fiber of my being. If you got a problem with Derrick Rose getting his jersey retired, fuck you and everything you stand for. Period.
I second that.
So, it is what it is when it comes down to that. Last thought, fellas, because I know people are going to ask, with Derrick Rose getting his jersey retired, and we all agree it is deserved, we had another Chicago legend who was here for a much shorter amount of time also talk about how much he would love to see his jersey in the rafters. Does this open the door at some point down the road for Dennis Rodman to get his jersey retired?
Yeah, it should. He should have his jersey retired. He should.
It ain't that I disagree. But for Pippin's
jersey not retired?
It is. It's not retired. I thought it wasn't.
No, Pippin's jersey's retired.
Yeah, it's retired.
Okay. Well, yeah, he got to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
With D Rose getting this, it opens up the door for a couple people, honestly. So I think it's him. It could. I mean, it would be a long shot, but some people gonna say Joakim, but that's a long shot. Most people back in the day, probably like Bob Love. I think he got
Bob Love has his jersey retired.
Well, I say I don't. Well, besides that, it's really just Rodman.
Yeah. Robin's really there, and no slight to Joe, because we understand what Joakim Noah also meant to the city and to the team, but he didn't have really the individual accolades. I do think he's going to get into the Basketball Hall of Fame because of having 2 titles in college, but I do think that Joakim Noah is definitely going to get in the Ring of Honor, which he's eligible for the next one that comes up. I just don't know if he's ever going to get his jersey retired.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it would be. I feel like it would be when he's older. Like he probably be like in his 60s or 70s, or like and a lot of people saying like Luau. Like that's the thing. Them and Luau and Joakim gonna be long shots. They just if they got a championship, they'll probably have a better chance.
I mean, they are
didn't get it.
beloved. They beloved,
Yeah.
but that's about as far as it goes. Kirk Heinrich also it's. And we also got to understand that like some of these guys have like Chicago Bulls records, but in the greater scheme of things, in terms of like the entire NBA, Chicago Bulls records are different.
Yeah,
I'm about to say that's what the Ring of Honor for.
Listen, did y'all know that Josh Giddey's already in the top 10 of triple doubles all time in Chicago Bulls history?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
how bad some of our records are, bro. Like that's crazy.
Somebody said Horace Grant.
No.
I mean, I could see a case for anybody that won multiple titles here. Yeah, that won multiple championships. But then again, you got to keep in mind that's what they created the Ring of Honor for. So we're gonna get that ceremony. I think it's every 2 or 3 years. But you're not gonna see a bunch of jerseys retired.
I feel
that's gonna be for the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I was about to say if it's anybody that should go in the Raptors last, it's probably it's most definitely Rodman, and then it's probably Horace. Everybody else probably in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah. For sure.
Kirk probably should be in the Ring of Honor.
He should be in the Ring of Honor next year.
Kirk, Joe, and Luau are probably all going to go in there. And Rose, because Rose can still get in the Ring of Honor. They're probably all going to go
all together. Yeah.
I think Kirk goes before, besides obviously D Rose, I think Kirk goes before Luau and Joakim.
Well, I mean, you have a class. They're going to do it as a class. There's like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, I think, you can't just, they always there at the same time. So you can't just mix it up. Plus, we doing one night, so we ain't finna break them up. We ain't got that much. We a little cheap now. We ain't finna get their ass individual nice now.
That's facts. That's big facts. Big facts.
Ben Gordon, hell no. The way he left.
No. I'm sorry.
He should have stayed.
No, fuck
him. The Bulls win the championship if he
nigga
stayed.
Left to go to Detroit. Fuck him.
And then he was out the league, 2-3 years after that?
Yeah. If he stays, he was the perfect person, perfect player for what they needed instead of Rip Hamilton and Keith Bogans.
I would say this: if we had either Kirk or Ben Gordon in that Miami series that first year we came up against them in the playoffs, we win either one. Because even
or Marco.
Marco came a couple years later, but I agree with that too. But because I think if you have Kirk Heinrich and his defense and how well he guarded D Wade his whole entire career, that could have made a difference. Or if you have Ben Gordon and his shooting, especially when they moved LeBron to guard D Rose, I think that changed that series for sure as well. This man said Gennaro Pargo. We ending the stream.
Hey, Nociodis got a better chance than Pargo.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's crazy. Any last thoughts, fellas?
Did you say his shoulders got a better chance than Pargo? That's funny.
No, I said Nocionic.
Oh, okay. Nocioni.
There's a Nocioni or Nocionic?
Nocioni.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We out this bitch.